Amen.
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. Of course, it's our pleasure to be with you another week. Thank you, my friends over at CAN TV, for the opportunity to come together again on one more show to bring in some good folks that's in the community doing good work that we don't often hear a lot from. But, it's always my pleasure to bring to you individuals who we know who are committed, who are just stand up, people who love what they do, who love the people, who love our babies, who love our communities, who are committed to social change and community empowerment, who would love to just be that beacon of light on that hill.
Amen.
That keeps shining out to make sure that all of us have a place of solace.
Yes.
And that we can continue to work together to promote a safe and drug-free Westside. So with that been happening today, I really wanted to come to you in another spiel today. It's been one of those days. I mean, you can tell when you've been on a computer all day because it seemed like you've been zapped. And I've been working on a couple of proposals, and it's been working on me.
Yes.
But anyway, all is well because I'm still here to talk about it. But listen, we at Fathers Who Care really do believe that teamwork can make the dream work. I mean, we're not talking about it, we're being about it. We was in a meeting yesterday. Our meetings always have so much energy in it with our stakeholders in the community, but they are so passionate. And I love folks who come together, who love on each other, who share resources, who pool resources, who are doing their due diligence to make sure that we all are working together to bring about some real systemic changes in our neighborhood. So tonight what we want to do, we want to use this particular show, and for those who don't know my guest, I will introduce to some and present to others none other than our sister here, none other than our sister and fellow yeoman of the gospel, none other than Fanya, and we're going to talk to Fanya in a second. Of course, Fanya is also, as I alluded to, and I'm going to talk more about it, she's the director of the Westside Heroin and Opioid Task Force. That task force has changed hands, meaning that, of course, Lee Rush had it as the director. Fanya got it as the director. Lee is now the senior advisor. So much is going on the West Side, but we want to talk specifically tonight about how we can all come together to educate, empower, and save lives, particularly our babies and those who are less fortunate, those who are indigent. So that's what we want to do tonight. So in doing so, I want to introduce to some, as I said, and present to others, none other than our own good sister, Fanya Burford Berry.
All right.
She's a woman of God, of course. I alluded to that she's the director of the Westside Heroin and Opioid Task Force. She's a community servant for social change and community empowerment, and she is 100% committed. She has that real live passion, that passion that just resonate.
Yes.
Couldn't get that one out for a second. But you know what I mean. She really has that passion for the folks. And I really love personally associating myself with folks who really do it for the love of it.
Yes.
Not because it's a job.
Yes.
But I believe that those of us who are in this gospel and love the gospel, we are called to do certain work. I mean, we're called to be that light in darkness. We are called to be that salt in the earth. We're called to be good stewards.
Yes.
We're called to be servants for social change.
Yes.
We're called to do these things, and Lord knows we do them. And we do them endlessly, I would say, because it's just a mission.
Yes.
But anyway, Fanya, I want to thank you, my good sister, for what you do. I mean, every time I see you, and we're always in circles together. Every time I see you, though, you always are committed. You always have the energy for helping folks. Yeah. And the circle really isn't that big on the west side of Chicago. But let's do one of these things, too. Let's touch each other.
Okay. All right.
Bam, 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 bam. So we're going to teach you tonight about what these are. Tonight, Fanya, grab yours.
Yes.
So what we have here, and what we're going to do, we're going to kick it off in a minute, but we got some things right here where we want to use this show to educate folks on how to do what, Fanya?
Use Narcan, how to reverse an overdose.
So we're going to use, these are some of our training kits here. And, those who are interested, you need to get in touch, of course, with Fathers Who Care and get in touch with the task force. And we would definitely make sure that those of you who may need some training, which we all do,
yes,
you should always have a kit in your car.
Yes.
Literally a real kit so that you can save a life. And it's so easy to do. And Fanya is going to educate us about that in a minute.
Yes.
And we're going to have some fun. But Fanya, I want to just back up if I can. I know how you are. You're a stickler about the work that you do, and you're committed to it, and I like that. However, Fanya, I like to know that in spite of all the good work you do in the ministry, all the good work you do in the community, who is Fanya?
Yeah.
I mean, who is Fanya? Who are you?
Yes.
And what's your purpose, Fanya, for existing? What is it? What is it?
Oh my goodness. I want to thank you for the gracious
You give me one
introduction.
then. Give me one.
Reverend Jones.
I mean it.
That was amazing.
I mean it.
Yes.
I mean it.
Yes. I was born during the Black Power movement, right? And my
people.
mom was named Patricia, and she changed her name to Patika. And my father was named Robert John, and he called himself Umba during the movement, right? And when I was born, actually my sister and I, my sister's a year older, she was named Kosa Rua Waiusi, and the Kosas are a tribe in South Africa. Nelson Mandela is a Kosa. And so my parents wanted us to reflect the Black experience. So when I was born, my dad decided to call me Fanya Kazikwa Waiusi. Fanya Kazikwa Waiusi. So I was given a mission in life very early. I didn't want it, believe it or not, but here's what my name means in Swahili. It means to work for the Black community. Fanya Kazikwa Waiusi. And so, as I said, I was like, growing up, I'm like, why do I have this name, Fanya? Like, what? You know, I wasn't named Tanya or Cindy, right? I get this name because my dad wanted us to have purpose and meaning and a calling. And so as I have lived on this earth for 50 plus years, I have fallen more in love with my name as well as my mission and purpose, which is to help the Black community. I am an ordained pastor in one of the widest denominations in the United States of America, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. And just recently, they sent me to do an interim pastorship in Naperville. And it was Naperville. Predominantly white, 4 services. I had everything I needed at this congregation. It was comfortable. And they asked me, could you be our associate pastor? And I was just like, no, I have to return back to ministry with my people because that's what I was born. I feel like I'm like Simba being raised up on the mountaintop, right? When Simba was born, I was ordained. I was called into this work at my birth, and I was assigned that, and that is what I live into today. And so that is who I am.
Fanya, I love it.
Kazikwa Waiusi.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Now, have you ever traveled abroad?
I have only traveled to Mexico, and I just recently went to South Korea because my sister lived in South Korea, and now she's in Alaska. So I have been, but I've never been to Africa.
You have to. You have to do that. You have to take that journey.
Yes.
I've taken the journey and met with the elders.
Yes.
Met with the chief priests, and was given my name.
Yes.
Through
What's your name?
Kweku Amamichi.
Kweku Amamichi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kweku
that
Amamichi.
is fabulous. Kweku.
Kweku meaning I'm a gift.
Yes.
I was born on a Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm a sweet messenger.
Yes,
Amamichi is messenger of God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So and once you go back, you'll never be the same.
I truly want, that's one of the things I would like for the Westside. We have this travel agency called Gone Again, and they take children to Ghana.
Absolutely.
And I want all of our young people, old people, to all go to Ghana. I feel like that's a part of our reparations that amends making.
And it's your right.
Yes.
It's your rights of passage.
The United States of America bought our people here for free. They actually should take us back, let us explore Africa, Senegal, Libya, Egypt, Nigeria. It should be on the dime of the United States government because, I mean, after all, it should be honor. If they brought us here, we should be able to go back
So
anytime.
now you feel the passion for the night.
Yes, exactly.
So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have some spirited conversations, and we're going to give you some valuable information, and we're going to love on each other.
Yes.
We're going to forgive each other. We're going to support each other. We're going to start anew, and we're going to bring the energy to you.
As a matter of fact, Reverend Jones, and whenever I tell Swahili speakers my name, they just smile at me. They crack up. They're like, Fanya Kasi, you are so that you are a worker. Yes.
And that's what we're about.
Yes.
It's about service. It's strictly about the service. And once you take that plight, and once you elevate, you understand that your call on life is to serve.
That's right.
And no matter how far we go intellectually, it's all about serving.
That's right.
No matter what titles, it's all about service.
Yes.
So don't get it twisted. Even when we call ourselves laymen of the gospel, ministers, pastors, bishops, whatever title we give each other, it's only a level of service. All right?
Yes.
Being a servant.
Yes.
Not being served.
Exactly.
All right? It's being a servant.
If a leader does not know how to serve, then run from them because they're not in your best interest.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're going to get on into the show. You heard the passion earlier. So let's talk specifically.
Yes.
You're the director, right?
Yes.
Of the Westside Heroin and Opioid Task Force. How you feel? What's your vision? What's the purpose? What are you trying to do? How is this position meaningful in your life, and how is it contributing to your gift to want to give to the people?
Yes. Well,
roll with that.
Yes. I am a big believer in healing of our community, and that is the gift I think I bring. It's healing and hospitality, and that's what this position is all about, is offering hospitality to those who use drugs, and actually sometimes those who deal drugs, because our ministry, the Westside Heroin Opioid Task Force.
Which is what you just, you know what you called it?
Yes, our ministry.
Just want y'all to listen now. Listen to what she's saying.
Is that we go to the corners where people use drugs or consume drugs and people deal drugs. So we're offering them life-saving techniques to keep them alive. And that goes for both groups of people on the corner. And we help them to hopefully, eventually, when they feel they're ready for treatment and recovery, we are there to bring them in with warm handoffs to organizations that do that work. So that is our purpose. That is our goal. And actually, the goal of the Westside Heroin Opioid Task Force is to actually work its way out of existence, because we do not want to continue work on the backs of harming the harm of our community, being exploitive of that, right? We have a goal to end overdoses on the west side of Chicago, and that is our fatal overdoses, and also educate our community about harm reduction and the practices of harm reduction, because it is a lifestyle, it's a philosophy of life versus just a technique, or tactics. Harm reduction, as if we're followers of Jesus, Jesus was a practice harm reduction. He fed people, right? When people were starving. He healed people, right? He didn't ask any questions about do you deserve to be healed, right? He just did it, right? And so that is harm reduction. Whatever's going on in your life, let us reduce the pain. Let us offer healing. Let us figure out what you need so that you can be a productive citizen that can contribute to your family, your community, and the world.
So now that was her passion about the work that she does.
Yes.
And you notice how she said ministry. So that means it's not a job.
No, it's not. It's a calling.
It's not a job, it's a calling. And it's a calling to serve. And so let's keep talking in that vein. So do me a favor while we're having some fun here. Let's educate.
Yes.
Would you please tell us what is a naloxone?
Yes. Naloxone is the syringe version of this Narcan. So we give out syringes where you can inject like an EpiPen. You can inject this life-saving medication into someone, and it will reverse an overdose. And then Narcan
Now,
is
wait a minute. You said it will reverse
an overdose. Yes.
So if a person is ODing off
opioids
or
that's it. Opioids. This only works for opioids.
Okay, go ahead.
So first of all, let's recognize the sign of an overdose, right?
Go ahead, please.
So a sign of an overdose is a person sort of like out. They're like sleeping. They're nodding. Their respiration is slow or maybe non-existent.
Right.
There is maybe their when you open up their eyes, they are pinpointed, right? Just shallow breathing, shallow breath. Their fingertips or their lips might be blue or dark. What else? It is really just noticing the breath. So what you want to do is you want to call 911 first. Call 911 right away because you don't know what's going on. You know this person is having some sort of medical emergency. When you call 911, you say someone is having a medical emergency. They're non-responsive. They're not breathing. You don't know why they're not breathing. You just say they're not breathing. So once you get that started, you get that rolling, then you open up the package of Narcan, right? Then you make sure that the person is laying down, right? And they're in the rescue position. And the rescue position is a person being on their side, their leg being like this, and their head tilted, right? You spray up their nostril 1 dose of Narcan, right? You look at them, you wait 2 to 3 minutes. If their breathing does not return, if they do not come back, then you use this up on the other side. Close the nostril and use it up the other side. And that's how you reverse an overdose. And then you wait until the ambulance comes. You tell the paramedics what you have done, and then they will properly dispose of the Narcan and get the person, if there's more Narcan needed, they will administer that. They will take the person to the hospital and do what it needs to be done in the ER with them.
Now, if you notice, she was using the nasal spray.
Nasal spray, yes.
And she shared with you about the syringes, which is also another form of a naloxone used to reduce or reverse an overdose. So let's keep it moving down that road.
Yes.
So what is it that's going on that you would like for the folks to know more about in the community with Prevention Partnership and the Westside Heroin and Opioid Task Force? What's going on?
What's going on? Right now we have 3 working groups, and so we are excited. We are working right now with the CTA to get
information is on the CTA.
Yes,
go ahead.
information.
Talk about
CTA, the Chicago Transit Authority. We're working with them to help get Narcan vending machines in 8 locations, and then we would educate the public as they come in to how to use Narcan so you can reverse overdoses while you're riding the CTA. And it won't cost, everybody's like, it might stop the trains. Actually, the truth be told, because it takes a while, you spray, go to your next stop, hopefully the person is up by then they can just exit off the train and the transit can keep on moving. So this is a miracle drug in a sense that it reverses just opioids. It doesn't harm anything else if you're overdosing, and it restores your breathing, and then you can be escorted, and then the paramedics can meet whatever that person at whatever stop, and the trains just keep on going.
Right.
Also, too, we're working on housing issues regarding folks who are unhoused. Some people who are unhoused are people who use drugs, and so we're working with agencies to help people who use drugs find housing. Because once they have stabilized housing, then maybe they can start thinking about treatment and recovery, but sometimes that's difficult when you are unhoused. All right, and then the next initiative is just actually educating the public about harm reduction, drug usage, that drug usage is not a moral failing, but rather a public health issue. And we have to use public health strategies in order to help people with chaotic usage, and maybe start thinking differently, having adult conversations, right, around drug usage. I know I grew up in the 80s with Just Say No, and that ended the conversation regarding drug usage. And honestly, it was wrong just to say no. We needed to have conversations about treatment, recovery, why people use drugs, why people don't use drugs, why people who, some of you probably know people who are heroin users and they're functional. And you're like, why does that person do that versus another person? So now that we have opportunity now to enter into a grown-up conversation regarding drug usage, and that's what my hope is that our task force can get especially the West Side of Chicago, destigmatize drug usage, have grown-up conversations, create creative strategies to when drug use becomes chaotic.
So if someone is watching now, which I keep trying to explain to the viewing audience, and thank you for tuning in, that we're really passionate about saving lives.
Yes.
We know that the West Side of Chicago is under a certain amount of stress, trauma, and anxiety, and so folks are going through a lot.
Yes.
So our job as good servants is to educate and to empower, but also to save our babies.
Yes.
So in order to save our babies, we have to educate our babies. So Fanya, if folks are watching and they're interested in getting in touch with you, how could they get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me at Westside Heroin Opioid Task Force. My email address is lessharm at Westside Task Force. That's lessharm at Westside Task Force. And you can just look on Prevention Partnerships webpage. We are a project under Prevention Partnership, and so our information is there. We are on the corners on the West Side Monday through Saturday from 9 to 2, so you're always welcome to get in touch with us there. But once again, my email address is harm, HARM, at westsidetaskforce.org.
So you heard it here.
Yes.
And so now for additional information about what's going on in the community, give us a call at Father Sucare at 773-287-5821,
Yes.
773-287-5821, or log on to fathersucare.org, or just Google Father Sucare, and let us know if you got young people in two different cohorts, from the 12 to 17, 18 to 24, who are interested in some internship programming, drop-in programs, leadership programs, youth development programs, identity programs, peace circles, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Give us a call. Of course, we have a wonderful youth council of young people who come together each week, several times a week, to empower each other, to engage each other, to enlighten each other, to support each other. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're collectively working together. You do know that we are coming up to that season when things are getting ready to get hot again.
Yes.
Get outside. And so what we want to do is educate our babies so that they won't become victims of what's going on in the community. I'm really kind of torn in some ways about the new legislation that we have legalizing cannabis, because I think, in my opinion, I think that it does the community some great harm, and then it kind of makes young people believe that it's cool.
Yeah.
Then until they look for a job and find out.
Well, that was the issue, is that we have not had good conversations around drug usage.
Right.
You know, we got to talk to our kids when, first of all, you really shouldn't do drugs until you're about 25. So that's a whole nother conversation, because your brain is just not developed.
Right.
But because we haven't had those conversations, our kids don't understand, even adults don't even understand about drug usage.
Right.
And until we're able to like, just, I would love to have us sit down and talk about it, because they were doing it. Now it's permissible. we did not do the due diligence around the education
Absolutely.
piece.
We just accepted it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, what they say.
Yes.
But no, it's not what it is.
Yes.
I mean, it's not what it is just because you've legalized it. It's not what it is because they don't know and they need to know. But anyway, we want you to know, thank you for watching us this evening. Thank Fanya for all the good work that she's doing. And again, she gave you her email address. I gave you phone numbers. We want you to know that we're here for you and whatever we can do to empower you. We encourage you to join the movement, be a part of the change. We are the change agents in our community, and we believe that each one of us should teach each one of us that we can continuously empower our folks. We're really committed to bringing about real change in our neighborhood. We really want to see our neighborhoods back into the spirit to which we grew up in, loving on each other, forgiving each other, supporting each other, and doing what we can to save our babies and our communities. And I believe it can happen.
It can.
I believe it. Again, you just got educated on how to use Narcan, the nasal spray, and we want you to know that there's additional information. If you need some training, you can get in touch with Fanya.
Please.
If you want to be involved with some of the outreach, you can get in touch with us, and we'll make sure that you're actively involved in what we're doing on the Westside.
We train churches, we train organizations. We have been convened by LaShawn Ford, and so
he's the convener.
He supports us, our work. We are funded by Supra. So everything that we offer is absolutely free. You know, so if someone says you need to pay for a Narcan training no. Come to us and we will help you out. Yes. And
for free.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
Yes. And you can get all the items for free. Because they do sell Narcan at Walgreens, but don't do that.
Why would you when you can get it for free?
Yes, exactly.
But we just want to thank you again, Fanya, for all that you do, and we want to thank you all for tuning in.
Yes.
We know that things are going on in our community that we really need to be involved in, that we need to be supportive of, but we need to support each other.
Yes.
And I want to just encourage you, don't give up.
Yeah.
Stay the course. Keep the faith. All is well.
Yes.
Good things happen to those who keep stressing, or pressing, I should say. Keep pressing towards the mark. And so we encourage you. Give us a closing comment, Fanya, so that we can leave this place.
As you always say, teamwork makes the dream work. All right. Amen.
So God bless you. God keep you, and we'll see you next week. Keep the faith, and remember, young people can't be what young people can't see. Bless you. God bless you. And good night.